Hello, this video is going to be all about making sure your Works Cited page is correctly formatted using MLA formatting. I'd say out of the 100 outlines that I looked at, probably 5 of them had the correctly formatted Works Cited page. So it's totally fine. It's a new skill for many of you. So I'm going to show you how to do it. That also means like 95 of you should be watching this video to make sure you got what's going on. So I just grabbed somebody else's Works Cited page, and obviously it's anonymous. We'll just pretend it's mine. There were already some issues with it. I added some more issues to it to cover the range of issues that I saw with your Works Cited page. So if you were having issues, if I left a list of things that you needed to make sure you had, this should cover all of the issues that I saw. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I already have my header and page number. So if you were already missing that from the outline as a whole, I showed you in the other video how to do that. So look at that video if you're not sure how to do the header and page number. Just FYI, I'm fixing my Works Cited page on my outline. I'm not waiting to fix it on my rough draft because I want to make sure that my outline is as close to correct as possible. That way, creating my rough draft is just a matter of transferring already correct information over. Again, I want to do the hard part now so that the second half of this, the rough draft and final draft, is as easy and painless as possible. So with that, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to make this a bit more uniform. I'm going to make sure everything is 12 point Times New Roman font, which I think it was. If you got an Works Cited page from like EasyBib or Citation Machine, sometimes they put it in a different font. I saw that in a few of yours, so make sure it's all Times New Roman-y, all 12-point fonty. The other thing that I want to do is I want to get rid of any bolding or underlining because you don't need it. It's not correct MLA formatting. MLA likes to keep it plain, keep it simple. Other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up so that the Works Cited title is at the top of the page. I'm not going to press enter a bunch of times to bring it down. It's just 1 inch down at the top of your 1 inch margin, like any other part of this paper would be. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to check the citations individually because I'm noticing on here that there are some issues with some of these individual citations, and I want to fix all that before I finish the formatting. So the first thing I'm noticing is this one is just really jumping out at me as being kind of weird, especially this part right here. I've never really seen an article title that looks like that. Remember, Citation Machine, EasyBib are really good first steps to your Works Cited page, but once you get back whatever they give you, you have to check it against the legit Works Cited page in your packet, against the legit entries that are listed in your packet, because there's nearly always at least one mistake, if not more. And I'm seeing that here because this makes no sense. So I just went to the source. When I went to this Internet Shakespeare Editions thing, I saw that they had a page that told me how to cite it. If you have an educational site that you're trying to figure out, see if they actually have a little thing you can click that tells you how to cite this article or how to cite this website. So I'm looking here. It has bullets for what to do. I'm not using a lot of this for this one, though, so I'm just going to look down here and kind of copy the pieces that I see down here. There was no author for this, which is fine. So it's the article title. So this, I know, is not part of the article title because it looks like a web address. I'm going to do that. And then there's a period that goes to the end there. And then I have Internet Shakespeare Editions goes next. And then this is the larger container for Internet Shakespeare Editions is University of Victoria. So I need to add that. Comma. And then it looks like there was no date for this. So I'm going to let that alone. Then I have the website. I noticed when I looked at this, at first I was just like, oh, it's a crazy website. Like, it happens, because it does. But then as I looked at it closer, I noticed that the reason why it was so crazy is not because this is the actual website, but because the search engine result was part of the web address, which can happen, but you don't want that in your Works Cited page. One, it looks super weird. Two, it's not like the actual official website. That's kind of in here. So I'm actually going to get rid of this and go to the page itself, which is right here, and copy that legit address down. Was it a comma or a period after that? Period. Period. And then I noticed that I'm missing access dates. Access, let's pretend it was April 30th. 30 April 2018. I'm actually noticing that I'm missing access dates for all of these, so you guys need to check that. Part of any Works Cited entry for an internet address, you need to provide the date that you accessed that site. If you're missing that, make sure you fix it. Have that weird European date style again. Okay, so I've added all my access dates. Now I'm looking at this and the citations look correct. Now I can finish up the formatting. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get everything in alphabetical order, and it's alphabetical order by whatever is first, whether it's author last name or title. So Adams is going to go to the top. And then Gurr. And then the globe would come before the swan. I think that's it. Okay, great. So now I have it all in alphabetical order. Now the thing I want to do is I want to get, before I double space everything and do the hanging indent, I wanted to make sure everything is correctly spaced, because right now I have a whole bunch of like multiple spaces between some of these. Like I've pressed the enter key a few times and you don't want that. So I'm going to get everything lined up together, okay, so that when I make the change, it all happens equally across the board. And now I'm going to go to double space, okay? Now the last thing that I'm missing is the hanging indent, and it may seem like a weird torture device. It's not. It's just a way to get the most important part of your citation, which is that first initial part, the last name, or the title of the article, to kind of offset it. So like that's the obvious thing to the reader, and all the other information that's like still important but isn't super necessary to the average reader is kind of tucked away within the indent. So the way that you do this is kind of weird. Once you get it, it's super easy. Basically, you're going to highlight your Works Cited page, and you're going to go up here. Let me see if I can get this bigger. Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to hang out up here with these guys. You have a little triangle at the bottom that is your left indent, your like whole left indent for every line on your page. And then you have your first line indent. We're basically going to drag everything over, and then we're going to drag the first line back to create a hanging indent. So I have everything highlighted. I'm going to do this. Pull the triangle, and both things are going to go. Pull it over to the 1/2 inch. There you go. Not done yet. I need it to hang. So I'm going to grab just the rectangle. So not the triangle, just the rectangle. I'm going to pull that guy back. Yay! And when you do it, it's hanging out. Sometimes the web addresses are not your friends because they don't really move very well. But let's see if we can get him to go back over. There we go. So just double check that. So this is what you want it to look like in the end. You want the whatever's first, the last name or the title, hanging out over here. Everything else is tucked away for night over here. That's it. That's the hanging indent. That's your Works Cited page. This is what it needs to look like. Don't forget to make sure your individual citations are correct before you start doing the larger formatting for this. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.